over. Punching with your fists from a passive stance. Strong punches, hitting with the knuckles of the fists, turning the body, sending the shoulder forward. We'll see this from a side view. We are turning the hips and the heels a little bit too. Here we see Michael punching from a fighting stance, sending his left forward, punching with the left. Here it's demonstrated a slow punch, now a fast punch. Michael is rotating his body and shifting his weight forward in order to achieve maximum power and reach in the punch. From a side view, slow punch, shifting the weight forward, rotating the body, turning the body to reach maximum reach and power in the punch. A fast punch, straight left punches to a focus mitt. We emphasize fast recoiling of the attack. We demonstrate now punching with the right punch with a closed fist from a fighting stance. Michael starts with sending his hand forward, shifting the weight forward, and then turning the body. He is hitting with the two knuckles as with the left punch. His waist is turned and the heel of the back leg is turned a little bit also. With this he can generate a strong punch, shifting the weight forward. From a side view, we can see the punch clearly. His chin is tucked a little bit down to protect him from getting a knockout, a punch. Seeing this from the other side, we can see how his shoulder is being sent forward to gain maximum reach in the punch. Fast punches. A side view of a fast punch. View from the other side of a fast punch. And punching focus mitts. Michael is demonstrating now a combination of two straight punches, left and right. As Michael is showing this slowly, we will see first punch, then the second punch goes. The switch between the two punches occurs halfway between Michael's face and the target.
Next, we examined the delivery of the hammer fist punch. It's important to note the name hammer fist punch comes from the physical characteristics of a hammer. The forearm of John, as it is positioned in this point in time, is similar to the handle of the hammer. The fist portion also simulates the head of the hammer. To understand this, we'll understand the delivery of the punch. John is basically using his hand like a hammer, delivering forward and slightly down to a target that is presented before him. This punch could be delivered to the chin, to the nose, or other face area or level of the opponent. John's shoulder goes in, his hip goes forward, and he's pushing off with the ball of his foot, all to generate power forward and in a downward motion, consistent with one striking with a hammer. Notice slowly that when the punch is presented, it's drawn back, and the palm part of the hand is presented forward, and on impact, there's a turning inward. This rotational force or torque is created to generate additional power on impact. From a forward view, the striking surface of John's hand is the meat part of his hand, which he will touch now. This is the area that he's hitting with. That area is analogous with the head of the hammer. From a passive position, you can see this strike delivered to another target area. For instance, if someone is low, this strike can be delivered in front of the body and downward. In this position, John is making essentially the same strike, but because the punch is being delivered downward, John is dropping his weight accordingly. The hand is raised, and the punch comes down strongly. It could be to the back of the head, or neck area, or even between the shoulder blade. From this view, we can examine another possibility in the delivery of the hammer fist punch. If the threat is to the side, but beyond the distance that is appropriate for an elbow strike, John will employ the hammer fist punch to cover distance quickly and deliver and reach the target that's at a further distance. John uses the hand swinging up and turning in. His weight is shifted toward the target. His hip and shoulder roll out to make power in this punch delivered to the side. He also lowers his head so that he is protected slowly behind the delivery of the punch, so that it would be more difficult for him to receive a blow from the opponent. This punch can also be delivered from a passive position and can be followed up with further attacks. Now we break down the delivery of the hammer fist punch forward in its stages. John will be making the delivery of the punch in slow motion. As the hand's going forward, it's raised a bit so that the punch can go forward and down onto the target as the shoulder and hips turn into the punch. Now examining the hammer fist punch downward for a low target. The delivery of this punch is down. The weight will be dropped down. The hand is presented over the target, and it starts to go towards the target with the palm down. Before actually making impact, the hand is rotated to hit with the meat part of the hand, the head of the hammer, so to speak, to deliver maximum power from the rotation that's included in this strike. John's weight drops sharply. The stages in this position will be the hand raised up slightly, and now the hand dropping on the target. In conjunction with the sending of the hand down, John drops his weight, and the hand, the meat part of the hand, passes through the target. The opposite hand is up and available for defensive or offensive purposes as needed. Another possibility from this position is to deliver a strike on a horizontal plane. John will be punching with his left hand. Of course, the hand is brought back quickly for further attacks if needed.